All right, I'm stuck inside my house today, so I still wanted to put out a video for the daily vlog. This channel is also supposed to be about self-development. So this video is gonna be my story of why I began to try to improve myself, where self-development all started to happen for me and what was going on in my life at the time. It all started when I began to realize that people, even my friends, didn't really want to be in the same room as me. I had just gone through an event in my life that was making me feel pretty low. So I was just kind of searching around, trying to find ways not to feel so shitty. But let me back up a little bit, give you a little history of the kind of person I was back then. I mean, I have a long way to go. I have a lot to learn, but I definitely was a much different person when I was younger in my 20s. I was an asshole all the time. I didn't care who I had to hurt or who I had to manipulate to get what I wanted. I was just really bitter about my childhood. I was just really angry. You know, I'll tell people sometimes I was an angry young man. I was so bitter. I would try to punish people. I think subconsciously I felt that if I could make people around me feel really shitty and feel worse than me, then that means that I'm happy because I don't feel the worst out of everyone. I feel the best. So that in some weird way, that made me think that, oh, okay, I'm a happy person, but I wasn't. I would just get into all kinds of trouble, bar fighting, insulting people constantly, trying to make other people feel worthless. I didn't even have a relationship with my only sibling, my sister, because I felt like I had been wronged as a kid because she was the baby in the family and I felt like she had gotten all the breaks and all the best treatment, you know, being the baby. I remember my mom used to always make me wash the dishes, never my sister. It was just a really stupid way of thinking. All my sister has ever done is try to love me. She's a really great baby sister. Thank God that she allows me to be a part of her life and have contact with her, considering the ways I've treated her when we were younger and in the past. I mean, some of the things that happened to me when I was a kid, my parents were divorced. When I was about 12, I'd found my biological father because my stepfather had adopted me when I was 1 year old. And I didn't even know I had a biological father until I was like 10 or 11, I think, maybe 8 or 9. And I would go and visit during the summers and stuff like that. And when I was a teenager in high school, my mom and I weren't getting along. And so I flew out to Tennessee to stay with this guy. And it was just a different world. I was born and raised in California. I just never felt comfortable, you know. We were sitting at the table. He just looked straight at me after I told him that I wanted to go back and live with my mother. And he's like, well, if you do that, don't call me, I'll call you. And I never heard from him again, ever. These are just a couple examples of things in my life that made me feel the way I did. It made me so angry when I was younger. I just let it drive me, let it drive my decisions, let it drive the way I treated people, just all of that stuff. It tainted every aspect of my life. And I don't know what happened, but one day I just realized, wait a minute, there's a problem in my life. And that problem is most likely me. I am so lucky that I had that thought because nothing was ever my fault. I never was wrong. If I ever felt like maybe I had a mistake, I would just yell at someone else until I could convince them that it was their mistake. That's just the way I did things. That way I never had to admit that I was wrong, that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was, which I was really stupid. I was walking around trying to figure out how to feel better, and I stumbled into this bookstore from the Wiccan religion. I don't know why I was looking at it. I don't know what I was thinking of, but the lady in the bookstore was super nice. I told her what was happening to me. I told her how I was feeling, and she recommended a book for me called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman. I read that book, and then I read it again, and what I got from that book, I'll let you search it if you're interested. It just tells the story of a man who meets an older man that becomes his teacher. But what I got out of the book is you have to let the things from your past go. You can't keep focusing on the bad shit that happened to you when you were younger or in the past, even yesterday, because it just will affect everything else, your relationships, your attitude, your happiness, and you just have to let that stuff go. And so I did. I began to let all that stuff go. If I would run into someone that I had brutalized when I was younger, I would apologize. You know, I went through and I thought, okay, I'm a better person now. Yeah, I did. I instantly felt better after reading The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. I calmed down. I stopped being so crazy. But it would take me several more years to start trying to take my studies to another level, to realize that there was so much more that I needed to learn before I was actually a decent human being. First book that came my way was The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It teaches the law of attraction and how changing the way you think about things can help you to get the things that you want in life. Think like you already have it and attract it into your life. And that was a cool book. I read that. But then a few years ago, I started studying more and more. And I found Eckhart Tolle and his book, The Power of Now, which is basically, it describes a belief system that takes from different customs and different cultures and teaches to be in the present moment. Don't let your past affect the way you make decisions or cause you to do things wrong because of the way you've done things or the things that have happened to you in the past. And that really resonated with me. That's something that I had already believed in. So I studied. I got his audio version of the book and I listened to it over and over again. He's really big about letting go of your ego. Stop letting your ego drive your life. Also, part of being in the present moment is don't let your future cause you to worry or cause you anxiety in your present moment. Because what's happening tomorrow is tomorrow. And so you always have to remember that right now, you really are okay right that moment. It really is a good book. His teachings take a lot of practice. And when he was talking at me, in his audio book, it was like on this higher level that I was not able to get there very well. And then I found Dr. Wayne Dyer. You can find most of his books and most of his teachings and videos online for free, like places like YouTube. His audiobooks are even on YouTube, which I think is really cool that they put them on there. Other people put them on there and they allow them to stay on there. He's another one that's really teaching you really need to change your frequency in life to where you think. And that's also something Eckhart Tolle was teaching. Stop being negative. Stop talking shit, which I did a lot. It was fun. It's fun to gossip about someone, It's fun to gossip about people. Don't let anything negative come out of your mouth. And that's really hard to do. All that does is bring your frequency down. And if you want all the good things to happen to you in your life, then you have to keep your frequency at a higher level. You have to keep thinking positive all the time. Don't get me wrong. I can still be negative, but I just always remind myself. I do this all the time. I do it all the time. I just say it. Everything is great. I tell myself, if I get stressed about something, I say, everything is great. I say it all the time. I say it at least 5-6 times a day, especially if I'm going to go try to deal with someone. They can make a decision that will affect me badly. I just tell myself, everything is great. If something bad happens, try to brush it off and I figure out another way. I'm still learning all the time, constantly. I have so far to go, but I try really hard. I try to be a good person. These are some of the reasons that caused me to want to change my life and caused me to start to learn to improve myself. So thanks for watching the video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. That helps support me. I'll see you tomorrow.